Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, I don't know what has happened here. Ah, hold on. Something is happening. If you're in the room, say hello. This is crazy. It's saying no internet. Let me pull up. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. This is saying no internet, so I'm not sure what's going on here. All right. Well, I can't see anybody in the chat. Okay. Well, hi. This is crazy. I didn't expect it to malfunction like this. I'm on Wi-Fi instead of regular cable. Anyway, hi, and welcome to Kim Chat Live. I'm not sure if I'll see you if you're in the chat, but welcome. Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. Nothing like obstacles, right? On a Monday morning. All right, well, say hello if you're in the room. And if I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. You can just comment throughout. And if I don't see you, I'll comment later. Back to you. This is Kim Chat number 41. I can't believe I haven't done this in a couple of weeks. And the reason I haven't done it, and I keep clearing my throat, I'm so sorry about that, is because I've been sick. And how are you all doing? Tell me how you've been doing in the chat. So today I wanted to talk about ideas for healing. And the reason I've been gone is because on Valentine's Day, my hubby gave me COVID. That was my present. He got it first, and then I got it about 4 days after he did. And for those of you that know me, I'm like the queen of health and wellness and do everything in my power to stay healthy. If you know me, you know I exercise daily. I eat a plant-based diet. I keep my weight low. I drink a ton of water, keep my stress low, and I sleep. And so being sick is not something I'm used to, and I get anxious when I'm sick. So, and then when I found out it was COVID, I'm just like, oh my God, because I have asthma. So I was worried about that. So I'm just going to tell you some of the symptoms I had. Mark had some of them. I had some loss of taste and smell. In fact, when I was drinking water, it tasted sweet. And normally I have a very high sense of smell. So it kind of gave my nose a little break, but it was a bummer because I wanted to smell peanut butter and cinnamon and I could barely smell it. I also had experienced dehydration. In fact, the first day that I had COVID, I felt like I was sick to my stomach, and I ran over to the couch and kind of collapsed on the couch for like 5 minutes. And I thought, oh my God, I don't even have my phone with me. It was kind of scary, but I was fine after that. And then I got headaches, and those are really common. And boy, are those bad. I got the sore throat. I got chills. I had no fever. I was sneezing and coughing. And then I was wheezing because it went into my lungs. And I've had very controlled asthma for years, and I've never needed my inhalers for years, but now I needed them, and they had expired. So, well, my daily hadn't, but my emergency one did. So during COVID and a little before we knew we had COVID, before we knew Mark had COVID, we thought it was just a cold, but we stayed in separate rooms. And I'm not even sure how long. But on Valentine's Day, we actually FaceTimed. I was down on the couch. He was up in the dungeon. We call it the dungeon. It's the guest room. And it was sad that we had to do that, but we'll always remember it. So a week after testing positive, I coughed so hard that I thought I broke a rib. And I had this like sharp pain right here. It was so bad that I had to go to the ER. And I couldn't, Mark took me, but he couldn't go in with me because we both had COVID. And I had to go in through a separate entrance. Oh, it was just, it was very scary. And 3 hours later, after cardio test, a lung and rib x-rays and blood work, they determined that I had a bruised rib and a pulled muscle, which I still have. The one fun thing I got to do was I got to go in this wheelchair ride to radiology, and we went really fast, and I was waving at people on the way, like the nurses station on the way there. It was kind of fun. I've never been in a wheelchair with somebody pushing me that fast. So that was kind of fun. And the ER doctor that I had actually said he had COVID months before with a bad cough, and he actually had to go to his physician because he actually bruised a rib. So it was nice to relate to somebody that way, even though it's not a good thing. And then when Mark first tested positive and I was okay, I was able to run around and cook things for the week in advance and get as much work done as possible. So I'm glad I did this because when I got it, it hit hard. So as we went along on our journey, we were a tiny bit unprepared. So what I did during that time was I created a 12-page Get Well kit, which is a guide that we can refer to whenever we're sick. And I thought maybe this could help others one day. And soon I will actually make it available as a free download on focusyourtime.com. So I wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see this or if it's backwards. I'm not sure. I can't see the camera, but what's in the guide is I just tell our story about COVID and what happened here. And then there's lots of pictures of me. I just thought it would be nice to personalize it. So on the first page, it's got 6 steps for creating a safe space. And there's paragraphs here, but I'll tell you what they kind of say. We chose a designated safe room where Mark could isolate and I could isolate in another room. And we stocked up on supplies. I'm giving you a very abbreviated version of what this says. And then, of course, once you start experiencing symptoms, wear a mask. And especially if you need to leave the isolation room to prevent spreading germs. And then in the safe room and bathroom, make sure to disinfect surfaces. And then, of course, avoid direct contact with anybody else in your household. And then also monitor your symptoms and contact your healthcare provider if they worsen. So there's a lot more on here. Like I said, this is an abbreviated version. And then I've got something called helpful tips. So we made up a safe box kit that we keep in the house. And I'll tell you real quickly what's on it. I'm having a hard time talking this morning still. But we have test kits, a BP wrist cuff monitor, thermometer, an O2 meter, extra batteries. And for me, I have a current rescue inhaler and a current daily inhaler and some Ricola sugar-free cough drops with honey. That honey, that's a new thing for me. That really helped with the coughing. I highly recommend a little bit of honey in some hot water. Ibuprofen or acetaminophen, Kleenex, trash bags, bottled water. And I also have cat and dog food and cat litter, crackers, honey, and tea. And then I also wrote for meals, make meals ahead of time, like breakfast items, soups, potatoes, steamed veggies. Also sort your supplements in advance. This is so you won't have to do any of this while you're sick. And I wrote first symptoms, at first sign of symptoms, coughing, sneezing, chills, fever, headache, fatigue, sore throat, or runny nose, immediately escape to your designated safe room and stay away from others. And I don't see anybody in the chat still because the streaming service says that I have no internet. I hope you can all hear me. I'm sorry about that. And also what I put is order online. And we took advantage of ordering. We needed dog food from Chewy, and we ordered some supplies from Amazon, and we also ordered from Safeway. So they all delivered right to the door. And then we also had generous friends who dropped off stuff if we needed it or offered to. And then I have a page called Ideas for Keeping You Busy During Recovery. And so here's what I did, because I like being creative, and I thought this is a great time to be creative. So I subscribed to Masterclass and I gathered lots of knowledge during recovery. I did online puzzles, and I caught up on some podcasts, and you can also catch up on your favorite book. And I also watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I put them on my TV so it was easier to watch. And then I took advantage of technology because I kept in touch with people on mostly texting because I had a hard time talking. And then you could learn a new skill, take a new online course, or learn to meditate. And I learned to meditate because I got very scared about the wheezing, and I thought this might help me, and I think it actually did. And then again, monitored the symptoms. So we never had a fever, and our BP was good. Our O2 was always good. Everything just sounded really good. So, and then downtime, more making the most of the downtime. I have a whole page on that. And what I did was I created these lists, and I'll tell you what, I'll abbreviate this too, but one list is you write it down, or on your tablet, what are you still able to do? And I wrote, celebrate the small things like standing up, talking, or brushing your teeth. And I have a big long list. What are you looking forward to? Maybe you're excited to see a movie or go for a hike in spring. So I wrote down a big list of what are you looking forward to? Also, what are you grateful for? So maybe you're grateful for a warm house and plenty of food, and that you're there with your spouse. So a whole list I have on what I was grateful for. And the fourth thing is, what have you learned during this process? Perhaps you've learned how strong you are, or maybe that others really do care about you. And then you can populate it daily, and then you can reflect on it while you're well again. So my lists are huge. And then I wrote on recovery. Recovery is a process that takes time, and it's important to be patient, get plenty of rest, and take care of yourself during this time. And then celebrate. If you're feeling discouraged during isolation, see if you can celebrate each tiny step of your recovery on your way to feeling better. And then journaling. A great way to get your emotions out is to journal while you're isolated. And the process of isolating could be a very emotional experience, especially if you're not used to being sick like me. I journaled a lot. I journaled in that ER. I was so scared being in there, and they kept leaving me alone for long periods of time. So I pulled out my phone, and I was writing nothing but positive things, like I'm going to be well, I'm going to be well. And I wrote it like 20 times. And I just wrote what was happening. And I look back on it, it's kind of funny, but nothing negative, just all positive stuff. And like I said, writing is a therapeutic way to express your thoughts, and it's good for your mind. Then I've got this page on tips for keeping your body hydrated. And these are all big paragraphs, but it's basically drink water, eat soup, eat foods rich in water. And I wrote avoid high dehydration because salty foods, spicy foods, coffee, and alcohol can lead to dehydration. So I've got a page on that. And then I've got a page on tips to boost your immunity. So there's 6 different things, eating immune boosting foods, exercise, decreasing stress, laughing and socializing, and practicing good oral hygiene. These are all good ways to boost your immunity. And I've got another page here. This is like, not everybody will need this, but this is tips to avoid bruised ribs from coughing. I wish I would have known this because I'm having a heck of a time having my ribs heal. And it tells you how to support your chest by using a roll-up pillow to cough, and then also stay hydrated by drinking warm liquids. And then also, if you find it difficult to breathe, contact your physician and maybe get an X-ray if that's what they suggest. Just, normal things you would normally do. And then I've got a page about navigating bruised ribs and asthma. So if you already have it, there's a page on that. I had to up my daily inhaler and also take a rescue inhaler because it was causing me a lot of breathing problems. And like I said before, I drank honey and hot water. I took Ricola cough drops, and I had to take in about 10 deep breaths a day, which actually hurts. It even hurts when I do it now. And I'm still on ibuprofen, and ibuprofen really is helping, but I don't want to be on it all the time. So if you guys have any suggestions about how to relieve pain, something anti-inflammatory that really works, that's not ibuprofen, that's kind of natural, please let me know. And also, I'm able to do cardio again, but I can't do weights at all because of my rib. But I want to keep my bones strong. So I want to know if you guys know of exercises you could do to keep your bones strong or strength training without lifting weights. I'm up for listening to all ideas. And then we made this daily health vlog, and you put your daily numbers in below. I don't know if you can see that, but it's by date, and there's room for 2 weeks worth. And you put in your BP, your pulse, your temperature, your O2, your peak flow, and your weight. Because when I've seen the physicians, they usually ask for this stuff. I always keep logs. I have one that I just made. This has nothing to do with this, but I usually track my blood panels really carefully. And what I did was I made like a 7-year side-by-side comparison of all my blood panel numbers. I know you're probably thinking, she's got too much time on her hands. I actually don't, and it's actually fun for me. And so I haven't even given it to the doctor yet because I forgot I made it. So anyway, that's it for that. There's a little bit more on here, but I just wanted to share that with you. So it is important to have the right things in place just in case you're feeling unwell. And like I said before, I'm happy to say that the wheezing stopped a couple of days ago. So I am able to do cardio again, but not weights yet. And that'll have to wait because my ribs are still healing. And I just read something that it could take up to 8 weeks. I mean, it's so sore, and I can't lie on my left side. And that bothers me because I switch sides during the night. I don't know if you guys do that. Leave comments if you can see me right now. I hope that you guys can see me. So yesterday we finally went out for the very first time, and we went to Starbucks for a Valentine's coffee. That was really fun. I was so happy to get out. So I'm hoping that you guys found some of this helpful today. And if you're watching the replay, like I said, leave a comment and let me know what types of things you have in place in case of illness. And maybe I can add some of your ideas to my guide, as I'm always looking for new ideas. Oh, by the way, I wanted to quickly mention that I'm launching a course about how to have a better relationship with your mom. And if this is something you want, I'll reveal the details on next Monday's live, so stay tuned. And I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful to have such sweet friends who checked on me and Mark daily to see how we were doing. It meant the world to us, and we are so grateful because we were really sick. And I'm also so grateful, again, to be able to breathe without wheezing. I mean, really, it's so scary when you have a hard time breathing. It's the scariest thing ever. And I'm just so grateful. I've been not wheezing since Saturday, so for a couple of days now. And it just feels so good to be able to breathe. You really take it for granted, you know, when you can't breathe very well, or when you're breathing well all the time and then suddenly you can't. It's just awful. But anyway, I'm very grateful that's back to normal. And, you know, my exercise and daily routines are very important in my life. So I'm back to doing a lot of it. And I'm just so happy just to do normal things. I'm not asking for much. I just want my normal routine back. So I hope you guys got something out of this, and I will possibly make this kit available for a free download on focusyourtime.com. So I'll let you know when that's available. And that's it for today. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe and feeling great. And you know what? If you have the ability to exercise every day, just do it. Just decide you're going to do it. Don't wait for motivation, because sometimes the motivation is not there. Just decide you can do it, because I feel so grateful that my body, I think this all could have been a lot worse if I didn't practice wellness all the time. I think it could have been a lot worse. And so I thank my body for letting me recover like this. Not completely recovered, but it is getting there, and I know it will. So if you have the ability to exercise and take care of yourself every day, just do it, please. I mean, that's all I want to do. I want my normal exercise back. It just keeps you so healthy during your lifetime, and it leads to longevity, and it's just so important. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here and listening. It's great to be back, and I will see you next week. Bye.